I've never done it before, but I'm replacing the water pump belt and the air conditioner belt on this machine. I noticed that when you first fire up the when you first fire up the machine, it squeals the belt, and this air conditioner belt is like wicked loose. So I'm trying to figure out how you get that belt off, because it doesn't look like there's any adjustment on the air conditioner, but there probably is. I just can't see it. Definitely not on the crank, of course, and the water pump, of course, that's stationary. But I need to get that belt off too, and I think the alternator is adjustable here to loosen that one. So once I get this cover off, we'll get in there with a flashlight and see if we can't find out if that air conditioner pump moves or not. So I'll get back to you in a second here. I had to take my filler, take it off, put it down so I get my arm in there. But the top bolt here is the pivot point, and this arm down there, it's connected way down there and connected at the top, and it's got a groove in it, and then there's a bolt through it to let this thing slide up and down. So I'm hoping I can get that loose. There's got to be a nut behind it, right? Because it had to tighten up on that thing. Couldn't be threaded in there unless it's threaded. No. Yeah, no. Okay, it's threaded on the pump itself. Sliding shaft is in front of it, and then the bolt goes through it. So there is no nut. So I'm able to get on both of these nuts, or both of these bolts here, and loosen them. So I'm going to just loosen them a little bit more and see if we can't get this compressor to move. I got the belt off, but it was kind of a bit of a pain. The bottom one is fine because that's threaded right into the pump, but I think this top one is like the alternator one, where it's a nut and a bolt, and I just can't get to the other side of it. So I was able to get a wrench on there and get a couple turns out of it. So I know I loosened a little bit, and then I just kind of yanked up on the belt and the pump moved down. But now I'm wondering, when I get this back on and get it tightened back up, I'll get that back bolt tightened. But how am I going to tighten that top one? I'm hoping that nut will catch and it'll tighten, but we will see. So first, also this belt has to come off first, as you can tell, because it's on the inside. So you know what, it's not bad. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, it's all cracked. So I don't want that going out. That runs your water pump. And then this one is for air conditioner and stuff. Wait, is this the water pump? Oh, this one runs the water pump. So definitely have to fix that. So let me get these two belts out and we'll get back to work. Well, I can't get a socket on that nut or that bolt because it's kind of behind the belt. But I do have a ratcheting 14 mil, but for some reason it's not in my box anymore. So I'm doing little teeny tiny incremental turns with it. But I was able to get this little pry bar against the compressor. When I pull down on it, I don't know if you can see, but I can get the compressor to move, and the belt is nice and tight. So once I tighten up that jam, or that what is that, the adjustment nut down, bolt down there, then I gotta tighten up this one up here, and I'm not positive I'm going to be able to, so we'll have to deal with that struggle in a minute. Drawing on both counts. That 14 millimeter bolt is long with a nut on the other end. Luckily for me, when I put a wrench on there and loosen it, I only loosened it like a half a turn to a turn. The bottom one was a nut and a bolt also, but it's a short bolt and the nut is real close to it. So I was able to reach around behind it with a 14 millimeter wrench, put it on the nut, and then I was wrong again. I was able to get a socket on the front side. I thought the belt was in the way, but it was just it was close. It wasn't in the way. It's a tough time getting the socket back off because it was pinching it, but I was able to get a 14 millimeter socket on that nut, or the bolt, and then a open end wrench on the back side of the nut and tighten it up. So that belt is nice and tight now. Yeah, so then we just pull back on this guy here to get this belt tight. I can put a pry bar in here. Watch out for that throttle cable, but I can get a pry bar in there. Sorry, in here, and torque it this way, and then it'll pull down on it. So that should be good, but obviously I only have two hands. I'm holding the camera with the other, so I will just show you what it looks like when it's all on. Oh yeah, and as far as these belts are concerned, if you're going to change the alternator belt, you have to take off the belt that drives the air conditioner, because there's no way past it. So that kind of sucks, because you have to take that apart to get the inner belt off. But oh, and that's another thing, the rotation of the motor. I was always taught that when you have the rotation of the motor, you want the words, numbers facing out on belts, because belts are wound, and when you put them on backwards, they have a tendency to, or they could, unwind. So for longevity, face your numbers out. But anyways, let me tighten this up, and then I'll show you what it looks like. On something, but you probably can't see. There's the 13mm nut right there, and then the 13mm bolt on the other side, which is right here. Then, let me get this. So I don't want to tighten it up yet. I'm just getting most of the slack out of there. If I get it to be like right, let's see. Yeah, like that. So it's just finger tight. So all I got to do is cinch it down. But let me see. Actually, let me do this. How's that? Well, that's in the way. Everything's in the way. But so the top one here, since it's threaded in there, I can get that just about tight. I'm going to stick a pry bar in here. While bending that, let me see something here real quick. Yeah, there, tight there. Tighten that up, and then just feel the belt. It's nice and tight, and then I can go ahead and cinch the bottom one tight, and then that will do it. So let me do that. Of course, I took my filler neck off, and it's right in the way. Okay, that's tight. So now, all I gotta do is bring this bad guy up here, and then these two bolts go in here. Alright, so I'm going to cinch those down, and that's it. That's how you change the alternator belt and the air conditioning pump. What is that, a compressor? Air conditioner compressor belt? So that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. I don't know if anybody will take anything away from this, but if you have this same machine that I have, and every time you fire up the machine and fire on the air conditioner, you hear a big loud squeal in the back, you know that's that belt. So until next time, please rate, comment, subscribe, and have a great day.